Using online Czech records, the Plzen Regional Archives. My objective is to teach you to navigate the website of the Plzen Regional Archives to locate the vital records of your ancestors. If your ancestors lived in Western Bohemia, seen in yellow on the left side of this map, their historical records are held at the Plzen Regional Archives and can be accessed online at portafontium.eu. You'll find a myriad of records at Portafontium: city charters, estate records, chronicles, photographs, and the genealogical researcher's best friends, the church registers that recorded births or baptisms, marriages, and deaths or burials. Just to simplify things, I'll use the term birth book when referring to both birth and baptism books. Likewise, I'll use death book when referring to death and/or burial records. Today we'll concentrate on finding the vital records, but come back to Portafontium at a later date when you have more time and explore all that the website has to offer. In the upper right corner of the homepage, you can choose to view the website in Czech or German. I know enough of the genealogical terms in Czech and German to research, but I don't speak either language. Please forgive any mispronunciations. Today we'll use English for ease in communicating, but I find it easier in my own research to use the default setting of Czech, and I'll explain why in a few minutes. Google Translate may pop up and give you an option to choose English. Or if you use Chrome as your browser, you can right-click or on a touchpad, two-finger click, and choose the option to translate English. There are 3 access points to the vital records on the homepage. You can click on Matrices or on Content, but the most direct route to accessing the vital records is by clicking on the Search button. If you choose to navigate in the Czech language, just look for the magnifying glass. After clicking Search, a toolbar will appear across the top of the page, just under the Search button, with the options of All, Matrices, Chronicles, Documents, Photos, Census, Periodicals, and Official Books. Let's make this a little bigger. The default tab is the first tab, seen here in blue. Only the tab you click will be highlighted in blue, and all others are grayed out, making them a little difficult to read on the screen. Access the vital records by clicking the second tab, Matrices or Matriky in Czech. With the Matrices tab checked, let's look at the next line. These boxes allow you to begin your search and then narrow it down if you choose. The Archive tab is set to the default Plzen. The next 3 fields are Title, Place, and Text. Title refers to the unique name and number assigned to each register. You'll want to note each register title in your research log. Then you need only pop the title into this field to access that register again. Place is obviously the town or village where your ancestor lived. The text field can be used to search for any typed word in the register description. We'll look at an example in a minute. Next is a list of boxes that can be ticked if you want to look specifically for birth, marriage, or death records, or for indexes of birth, marriage, or death records, most often handwritten, and most often, but not always, at the back of the register. The last 2 boxes can be filled in with the date range. Portafontium also contains the records of the Bavarian archives, but ignore these for our purposes and leave these set on their default. Let's jump in and look at the results when we fill in just the location. You can type the Czech village name or the German village name. No need to use diacritics. We'll use the town of Jeb. If we had typed in the German exonym Ager, exactly the same results would be returned. Press the white OK button at the right, and a list of results is generated. These are the titles of the registers as well as clickable links that take you to each register. The title is usually denoted by the type of register followed by a number. This is a district office register. Other types of registers are standesamts, or civil registers, military registers, and religious registers. Scrolling down to the bottom of the page, we see evangelical books. Religions other than Catholic are denoted in the title, but Catholic registers are not designated with the religion in the title, just a location followed by a number, or a location and parish followed by a number. The clickable link takes us to a description of the register, and you can sometimes find very interesting detail. For instance, at the end of this book, there's a list of people that converted from the Roman Catholic faith to the Evangelical Church. Right now is a good time to show one of the advantages of using Czech. Earlier I said that the text field can be used to search for any typed word in the register description. This is the register description, but the caveat is that only Czech words from this description can be used. To translate back to Czech, right-click. This will sound counterintuitive, but click Translate to English, and then the option pops up for Czech or English. Click Translate to Czech and voila! I can now copy any word, go back a page, and paste it into the text field. And my list is narrowed to just the evangelical registers in Cheb. This second column lists all the villages that are contained in the register. Sometimes there are many villages, like in this first entry, and sometimes just one village in the register, as seen here. Cheb is the Czech name of the town, and Eger in parentheses is the German name. Also listed within the parentheses are alternate spellings for the village name. This column tells the years recorded in the registers. The symbols next to the dates tell us whether birth, marriage, or death records are found in this register. The two small O's or infinity symbol signifies marriage records. The plus or cross is death records, and the star or asterisk is for birth records. This register has all three. The one above is just a death index, indicated by the I next to the cross. Above that, we find death records for the same year. So two separate books. One has just the death records, and one is the index for those death records. This column, called Content, has just a snippet of the information we just looked at when we clicked on the title link. A second way to enter the register is to click on the blue magnifying glass on the far right of each entry. You arrive at the register in just one click. You can move through the book by scrolling through the thumbnails on the left, by using the up and down arrows just above the book, or by typing an image or page number in the same field. This is a long book with 338 pages. Let's see what's on page 285. These arrows allow you to jump to the first page or jump to the last page, which is especially helpful in a book this long. This is a great option. You can download an image on this page just by clicking on this symbol. You must take note of the image number as it is not recorded in the download. Even if you copy the URL, it only takes you back to the first page of the register, so I can't stress enough how important it is for you to record this information in your research log. These are all tools for helping you in your research. You can zoom in or zoom out. You can lock the magnification so that as you turn from page to page, you don't have to readjust the zoom. This dot takes you back to the original size of the image. This is full screen, and you have the option of rotating the book. Books aren't written sideways, but sometimes a document will be placed in the book sideways, and this tool will help you in that instance. One feature of Portafontium that I think is brilliant is the little icon on the right-hand side of each thumbnail. Here we have the star symbol for pages and pages. That indicates birth records. If we scroll down far enough, we get to marriage records. And then towards the end, we have death records. It's very helpful in locating the particular records you're looking for. Using the English translation tool can cause some confusion in certain instances. In the center column, you can see the highlighted words Easter eggs, followed by the German word Grosslitz in parentheses. Grosslitz is the German exonym for the Czech location of Kraslice, translated here to Easter eggs. These English translations of Czech locations are abundant. On this page alone, in addition to Easter eggs, we see long bridges, backyard, monastery courtyard, and upper gate. In addition, no results are returned if an English word is typed into the title, place, or text field, so I prefer navigating in Czech. There is additional information you may want to access regarding the birth, marriage, and death records, especially if you have the amazing opportunity to go and visit the archives in person. Certain records are unavailable online at this time because of privacy restrictions. Personal data is protected by restricting access to records for those born within the last 100 years or for those who were married or died in the last 75 years. If you are traveling to the archives, you will want to know if there are restricted books for your ancestors' locale. By presenting proof of your relationship and proof of your identity, personnel can look up a particular record for you and allow you to look at it or perhaps even take a photo. These restricted records may be held temporarily at the city offices until it is time for them to be digitized. Ask the archivist at the Plzen archive to direct you. I've demonstrated the easiest access to the digitized records, but you need to use one of the other two access points to see the list of restricted books. You can click Matrices for one-step access, or click Content, and then this access to matrices. Either way, you'll arrive at the same page, the collection of registries of Western Bohemia. Choose the applicable religion. My ancestors were Roman Catholic. This shows the entire collection of both digitized and restricted Catholic books, so the dates covered are 1539 through 1949. Here is the list of Roman Catholic records by location. Use the alphabetical toolbar to jump to a listing of villages, in this case, those that start with the letter K. I'm looking for my ancestral village of Kraslice. Scroll down. There's that pesky translation of Easter eggs for the Czech location, Kraslice, seemingly out of alphabetical order. But of course not so if we're looking at it in Czech. Click on Kraslice. Back to the English for ease and understanding today. This page gives you specifics for any Catholic books that contain records for the town of Kraslice and the surrounding area. Future editions refers to the restricted registers. Note that the restricted records for Kraslice are presently held at the registry offices. Scrolling down, we see that there are 3 more pages of restricted records. 5 pages of digitized books follow. I still recommend accessing the digital registers through the search button demonstrated earlier, as all denominations and civil records can be accessed in one list. I've prepared a word list for the Czech to English translations of the tabs and buttons on Portafontium. Once you feel comfortable with navigating in English, you might consider using the default Czech. Today I've shown you a roadmap to your ancestors' vital records in the Plzen archives. Navigating Portafontium may at first appear a bit daunting, but with a little instruction and the click of a few buttons, you're on your way to learning the details of your ancestors' lives and discovering even more generations of family. Thank you.